It is the very heart centre of this body, England. It's the very heart centre. And the wonderful thing about this new age that's dawning to me is that I am sure that all that is to be, and there's a very lot of wonderful things that are to be, are going to start here in Glastonbury.
John Shelly is neither the first man nor the latest to be drawn to settle in Glastonbury. But few like him can put into words the peculiar magnetism of a place which has always drawn saints and scholars and the natural pilgrims of the world, like those who came to Glastonbury Tor on a Sunday in June for the dawn of the summer solstice.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyone who comes here can find his own truth. What has drawn these people is a feeling that from this ancient sacred place, a new spirit is spreading among men. They are here to bear witness at the birth of a new era, the age of Aquarius.
This is going to be the centre of a revolution. And when I say revolution, I mean the true meaning of the word revolution, which is spiritual, intellectual. And it's going to spread from here throughout this land and from this land throughout the world. There really is, among these people, that spirit which was between the people who followed Jesus. For one thing, they had all things in common. These people, if they've got something, cigarettes, food, what have you, others haven't got it, they share it. But because they don't understand them, the grey people, they think they're bad people, they suspect them. And they think they're bad people, but they're not. They're good people and they're beautiful people.
All his life, Ivor Worth has been searching for something, and now he thinks he's found it. He has identified completely with the hippies.
Anything. They have no illusions about government, about the church, or about anything. They know that the Piscean age is dead. They know that the Christian church is finished. They know that they are the something new which is coming out.
The hippies may reject the established church, but they too respond to Glastonbury's powerful Christian traditions. One legend says that when these hills were islands washed by the sea, Joseph, the uncle of Jesus, landed here with a group of disciples, bringing to the Druids of Glastonbury Tor the new teaching of Christ. He built a wattle church on the site where in later centuries the great abbey was to rise. This particular myth means a great deal to the architect, Keith Critchlow.
When I was first introduced to the idea that the first Christian church, which is quite a significant thing, was here in England, I just thought, well, that's another piece of nationalism, and it would be nice wishful thinking. But then the facts were given to me by people time and again, different quarters, and I put them all together, and it began to make sense. This gives the story, to a certain extent, very well, because there was a certain man by the name of Bligh Bond, whose work I consider to have continued. He only died just after the last war, and he was the person who was asked to find this particular column, which is indicated on this drawing here. And when he discovered it, he decided to dig even deeper, and he found the circular foundations of what he believed to be the very, very first foundations built in 37 AD, very shortly after Christ died himself, and the people who came over were people who had living contact with Christ, and they set up one cell each for each of the hermits, with the wattle church, this is talking about here, set up in the middle.
The circle, the symbol of eternity, forms the basis of this man's understanding of Glastonbury. For the men who built stone circles all over Britain, this Tor was a sacred site. As a practical man, Keith Critchlow is fascinated by their mastery of geometry. A primitive pair of compasses, just flint arrowheads bound to sticks, can describe a perfect circle on a piece of slate.
We've had to take this off to the roof of a house, but Neolithic man would have had access to a chipped slate, and the ability to scratch and make marks on here would have given him immense precision.
It is a precise tool, as precise as modern drawing instruments, and from the circle you can develop the geometry needed to lay out Stonehenge, or, for that matter, a medieval cathedral.
It's a magnetism. People are magnetized here. But I think you've got to live right and even eat right and think right to be sensitive enough to be magnetized. And that's why so many of the world think they're mad, because they don't know anything about what's happening inside them. I've been on the top of the Tor. I've walked around a little, felt, so to speak, thrown out my antennae, and I've come to a place and stood there, and I can draw power from the Tor up into me, and I can feel rejuvenated. There's no doubt about it, the Tor has a power. It's impregnated with power, always has been, and has been impregnated recently with a new power, a power of the New Age. And naturally, it's magnetizing, well, without being sentimental, it's magnetizing what I like to call the angelic generation. They are young and they are more conscious of the beauty and the vibrations and the great future of this place.
To the hippies, the vibrations are a feeling, something below or above the level of language, which doesn't need to be put into words. Coming here is a tribal experience, a reaffirmation of a lifestyle based on gentle goodwill.
I wish that the church would look to the future more than the past. I think that pilgrimage is very right and good, but I don't think it's got much relation to this pilgrimage that the young people are making to come here. They are all united and all loving and looking to the future. But this Tor is the very seed of the future, the very seed of the Aquarian age. Wonderful things are going to happen. I know they are, and they're going to happen through this wonderful generation that's coming up. Now it's straight out of the Bible. Young men shall see visions, and I've talked to young people that walk up on their Tor and they see visions. They don't talk about it. They only talk about it to very few people, because well, you don't talk about that sort of thing, and perhaps I shouldn't be talking about it now, but I'm speaking about it. I'm going to talk about it. And these people are meditating. They're forging channels for the spirit of the New Age to come down and into the world. The Golden Age, the millennium.